I know. Trust me. I get it. You're wondering, why is my manifestation not here? Or if you don't even know what manifestation is, or you think that's a dumb word, some voodoo magic thing, that's total BS. Great news for you. You're spending time and valuable energy on people, places, and things that do not serve your manifestation. Number one fuels a lot of the problem. Because say you're working a 9 to 5 job that you hate, and you come home and you're exhausted by the end. So, of course, you don't have time and energy for your dreams. And then you might say, well, Leah, I have to make money, I have to pay the bills. But what's so interesting is that you're putting all of your time and money and energy and health and valuable resources into something that you don't like doing, which also does not help whatever company you're working for. So that is actually not helping anybody. They hired you for a job that you applied for. So to be mad at that job or to want that job to shape shift into something of your dreams is a waste of energy. Instead, go, wait, how can I use my gifts and talents in a way that is fulfilling, in a way that is life-giving? And then make sure that you surround yourself with people up to big things, either in the exact field that you're interested in, which would be ideal, because it's so important to spend time with people who know that your dream is possible, that they've either been there, done that, they're doing it, or they're dreaming so big themselves that they can hold that vision with you. It is so imperative, because for every person that tells you that you can't do it, there's 100 more that can tell you can't, because they're not doing it. But people who are up to big things don't talk like that. They really don't. They'll be excited by your vision. They will not give you unsolicited advice about something they know nothing about. I always find it so interesting. This happens all the time. People will tell me something like, because I'm in the acting world, I'm in the entertainment industry by being an acting teacher. So people will say things like, well, that can't happen, or that doesn't work. And then they'll follow it up with, well, I know nothing about the industry, so I really shouldn't be saying it. And it's like, well, exactly. Stick with that second part. You shouldn't be saying something you know nothing about, because I have countless examples of people that I've known for 20 plus years now who are working big time. And I know a lot of it had to do with their talent, but what is so exciting is a big part of it had to do with their mentality and what they spend time and energy on. I've shared in the past that I used to do stand-up comedy in another lifetime 20 years ago. And so a lot of the people that I did stand-up with are like super famous now. I also booked and produced stand-up comedy shows. And it is no surprise to me whatsoever that the nicest, kindest, and most talented, in my opinion, people have risen to the top. And I get so excited. I'm like, yay, because it proves the point. The people that were such a joy to work with, the people that were easy. Like when I would be booking comedy shows, it could be a disaster sometimes because artists are spending time on people, places, and things a lot of times that don't serve them. So you're getting drama, you're getting text messages, you're getting, boyfriend, girlfriend broke up, this happened, car broke down, blah, blah, blah. And yet the other people who have risen to the top and are super famous now, never a problem. Did they have problems in their life? Yes, they did, because they're a human being on the planet. But they didn't spend all their time and energy there. Instead, maybe they'd write a joke about it and use it to serve, right? So it's not that bad things don't happen. It's not that challenging things don't happen to people that are super successful. It's what you do with that energy. Are you going to sit there and talk about it and talk about it and then talk to more people about how it doesn't work? Because that is going to keep your manifestation at bay for sure, guaranteed. And even if it comes, you'll create more problems inside of that. So you'll block future ones. I've seen it time and time again now. I've been studying this stuff for 20 plus years and really diving into it myself because I had to address some things myself with being attracted to narcissists over and over and over again. So I had to talk about it, even though I didn't really want to, in a sense, because of my own pride or shame or whatever. But that was giving energy to something I didn't want. So instead, I just bring it to the surface, use it to help people, and then it clears up the energy. So you can shape shift things that are challenging into something that actually is very helpful and in alignment with what you love. Write a movie about it, write a book, paint a picture, help people, create a therapy office. I mean, there's so many things. So if you've had horrible relationships, you could become a relationship coach. Any challenge you've had in your life can become your strength if you have the right mentality, if you're focused on the manifestation and not the problem. Number 3, what are your personal mantras? What are your personal mantras? Meaning, every time you go to buy something, do you say, oh, that's too expensive? Or I want to find something cheaper. You know, I learned when I worked in fine dining, nothing's cheap. Okay, nothing's cheap in fine dining anyway, but don't use that kind of language. If you're focused on cheap, your life is cheap. If something is a great value for a lesser price point, now that has an expansive energy. But you find the cheapest thing, you're going to get the cheapest thing. So what are your mantras? I'm so broke. I hear it all the time with people, and I just sort of smile to myself because I'm like, wow, what a powerful mantra to tell yourself all day long. I used to do that. When I ask somebody like, hey, how you doing? So a stranger on the street, a lot of times I'll get this in response, just living the dream. I'm like, really? I think you should change your dreams because they don't look very exciting or fun. You can admit that it's all still energy. And so if you're going to adopt a mantra like, I'm living the dream, it better be a dream you love. Don't keep saying that mantra when it's something that you hate. Because otherwise, it's like the universe, the simulation, God, whatever you want to call it, is going to go, oh, that's their dream. They love being broke, poor, depressed, sick. So check in with your mantras. What are they? What are they? I'm empowered. I'm growing. I'm learning. Something that I've adopted this year is, wow, how much I'm learning. It has been humbling. You can look back on videos and see me in some major trauma. I revisited some major narcissistic abuse, old patterns. It's not a good look. But what was exciting to me through all of it is I know I was expanding and I could feel that. And I would go into meditation and feel I'm learning and growing tremendously. So when challenges happen, upsets happen, instead go, how much am I learning from this? Instead of staying in the vibration of, this is awful. Feel your feelings. It can be awful, but don't keep staying there, living the dream. Can't complain. Oh, that's the other one. Can't complain. Oh, well, you just did. So I guess you got what you wanted because you just complained about not complaining. Why do you want to complain? Why do you want to complain? And then people will make excuses over things that are great. Can't complain. Everyone's alive. Well, that's awesome. How about change the mantra? I'm living my life. I have so many things to be grateful for. All my friends and family are thriving and alive and healthy. That's the energy, right? Not can't complain. Everybody's still alive. Same. Wah, wah. That's not going to create what you want. Okay? Number 4. Many times, this might be a hard pill to swallow, many times your manifestation isn't working because you have a lack of discipline. Because of 1, 2, and 3. You're putting all of your energy, you're exhausted, so you have no discipline to do your thing. You're like, I don't feel like it. That goes back to the vibrational feeling. Do you know how many people don't feel like doing something, instead of going, I don't feel like it. So how could I get in the feeling of feeling like it? How could I get in the feeling of my dream? See, that's what so many people, maybe you, are missing when you're manifesting. You just go, oh, but I just don't feel like it. We don't feel like it, so you're creating more of what you don't want. Do you feel like that? See, that's just, it's weird, but that's a habit. So even though it's not what you want, you've created a habit of it. So it's comfortable when you do that. So you may not feel like going into great joy. You know, when I teach acting, that's why this thing that we do called emotional preparation is so important. And it can also help with manifestation when you use it in real life and not, in acting, right? Because do you think actors always feel like doing the divorce scene when they are falling in love in real life? No, they don't feel like it. You have to get in the emotional state so that you're in that scene, so that it makes sense, so that it's believable, right, to the audience. So if you could take that same principle and go, okay, I don't feel like the big dream feeling right now. So let me go into my imagination so that I can feel as if my big dream is happening, so that I can be in the appropriate scene of my life. Otherwise, you'll just keep getting cast in the drama. You'll keep getting cast, oh, wait, no, she does not look the part of big dreamer. He or she looks the part of depressed worker who hates their job. Okay, cast him there. Not in the big dream. So where are you casting yourself unknowingly just because you don't feel like going into the great joy? Create a habit of going into joy. Create a habit of having fun. I was bowling with my daughter, my 6-year-old daughter, the other day. She likes bowling. She's going to join a league soon. Watch out. So I've been bowling like 5 times in my life. I am not good. I'm like all knees and elbows, and it's like embarrassing because it feels like you're going up on stage or something when you go up. But when we were bowling the other day, I was just gutter ball, gutter ball, gutter ball. And then I was like, you know what, Leah, who cares what I look like? Because I was in my ego wondering about what I look like and how stupid it was. So I thought, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to have so much fun and just go do it and be in joy. Boom. I knocked down all the pins except one. Joy does create more of what you want. So come into that vibrational feeling a lot, often, and then some more. And watch the magic that happens. It sounds like, that's too good to be true. Then what's going to happen? My dreams aren't going to happen. I'm just going to feel good, Leah. Yeah, you might just feel great. And then more greatness is going to come to you. Watch. Number 5. Your manifestation might not be working because you lack patience. It's happening in divine right timing. I always wanted to be a mom, always. I had a certain timeline of how that was going to happen and when that was going to happen, all these things. Well, guess what? I had my baby at 40 years old. Divine right timing. I love my daughter. My daughter is the biggest blessing. Her name is Faith. Biggest blessing of my life. Biggest success story of my life. When I released that impatience and I was like, okay, maybe I'll adopt. And I started opening my emotional vibration up into that. Things began to happen. She didn't show up how I thought she would. I didn't adopt her. I gave birth to her. So also in the patience is opening up to how things can show up. Don't be so rigid on it has to happen exactly like this, or I'm not gonna be happy, or I'll just say living the dream, wah, wah. Be patient. Be patient, young grasshopper. If you're doing the action steps, if you're in the emotional vibration of the thing, if you're doing everything every day that you can from a joy-filled place, it will happen. It will happen. It will. Number 6. Your manifestation isn't working maybe because you don't realize how to add value. How could my manifestation add value to somebody else? How could my dream add value? So maybe you're stuck in this feeling of like, it's so selfish to want all this. And like I said at the very beginning, it's actually not. Even if your dream is to be married and have kids, and you're like, well, that's selfish. How am I serving humanity? You're serving humanity in a huge way because that's your dream. And energetically, the more people living their dream in joy, lifting each other up, energetically, that helps all of humanity. But you have to shift that consciousness and go, how am I serving humanity with my dream? How am I serving humanity with my manifestation? Or is it just, I want validation, please? Because if you're coming from that place, which I have done, because it's ego, we all want to be validated, right? We all want to be seen. That's normal. That's a normal human response. And it's okay to welcome encouragement and support from people. But if your sole focus is to get validated, I promise you won't, not in the way that you want it. But if your focus is in serving, when I had cancer in 2010, I was producing stand-up comedy shows. I was acting. I was getting the types of auditions and bookings that I would like. I was on track to do the things that I wanted to do. And then I got cancer. And I thought, what in the world? And it shifted everything. And while I was healing and in this dark night of the soul, and if you look at past videos, that is actually a beautiful time in my life because I was so in touch with my mortality. And then I started asking myself questions of like, well, how do I want to serve? How do I want to serve? How do I want to use my gifts and talents to serve? And I got my ego out of the way of it has to be like this, and I have to have the TV show, and I have to have, and I started going, well, I love teaching. I had never taught, but I loved the teachings of the Meisner technique and how they were helping my life as an actor. So I thought, well, I could teach, but how? But how, my ego said, and why? And that's second prize to having a TV show or whatever. But when I got all that out of the way and I got into the emotional vibrational state of what I want to give, I got really excited. And I would start writing a business plan up late at night. And then I opened my studio in 2013. We're celebrating 10 years of Leo Marlene Actors Studio in the Namastage Theater. It is so exciting. So many artists have come through. I've taught so many actors the Meisner technique now. And so many of the clients that I've worked with are now doing big things in the world. Writing albums, musical albums, producing shows, doing directing and producing movies. I mean, so many mind-blowing things. It's so exciting. And it's exactly my dream. And it's better than my dream. And I had no idea. So get out of your own way and ask yourself, how can I be of service with my gifts and talents? Number 7, I know you've heard this one before, but it is so important and it is so powerful to have gratitude. There are so many things going right for you right now. Anybody watching this, there is so much going right for you right now. And you could go, well, I'm being emotionally abused or beaten or horrible things, and I get it. And if you are being beaten or something, please do call 911. Please do get help. But I realize that there are horrible situations. Some people are in stage 4 cancer. Some people have horrible, horrible situations. Or maybe you're grieving the loss of somebody. I'm not discounting any of that. And there are lots of things going right. Lots of things going right. Your blood is flowing. Your lymphatic system is working. Even if you have cancer, I had melanoma. It shuts down your lymphatic system. But if you're alive, if you're here, it's still working in some capacity. Your heart is beating. There are so many things working for you. Have gratitude for these things. Have real gratitude. Have gratitude for the sky. every single day. If it's in a simulation or not, it's there. You're going to see it. It's sometimes very, very pretty, okay? Have gratitude for everything going right. Maybe even just finding this video was the perfect divine right timing for you. Have gratitude for all the little and big things, all the relationships, people coming into your life. Look for the magic, and magic will happen. Take a deep breath. Breathe nice and deeply as much as possible. There are more steps that you can take. I will be doing more videos on this. I am here for you because I believe you have gifts and talents to share. Subscribe if you believe dreams are possible. If you want your dreams to manifest now, subscribe. It's energy. You got this. I'll see you in the next video. Watch this video. You need this. You need this to live your dreams. Watch this next.